Prepare for a fusion of knowledge and exhilaration where education and excitement collide.
Taking you on an adventure that expands your mind and speaks to your spirit.
I'm Master Nick.
I'm Lady Dee.
We are the Dom Life.
This podcast contains sexually explicit topics and adult content.
It is intended for listeners 18 and older.
The opinions expressed in this podcast are ours alone, based on our personal thoughts, feelings, and experiences.
We understand that others may have different opinions and experiences, and we respect that. We would love to hear from you. You can reach out to us at www.thedomlife.com. Holy hell, what a weekend we just had.
It was pretty amazing, as you can hear by my voice.
That sexy voice over there. Somebody lost their voice Friday night.
It was so much talking and so much educating that I lost it, and it was very difficult yesterday to talk at all, but thankfully it's coming back.
Yep, you're getting it back. So we'll make through this episode here, but bear with us as Lady Dee is having some speech issues today.
It's never been a problem. Never been a problem.
No, we'll make it to it. But we just coming off of a Friday and Saturday night club takeover at Club Tempted, put on by Swinger Society. And let me tell you what an awesome job they done again for another big event. And it was great.
It was epic.
They had a lot of activities for people to participate in. They had the 360 photo booth, and
we did that a couple of times.
And that is the only picture we got together. The whole freaking weekend was at the 360 photo booth, and no other pictures.
None.
And it absolutely sucks. We made a joke. One day we're going to have to hire somebody to just follow us around with a camera so that we get pictures, because we fail every time.
Yes.
At taking pictures. But we're going to tell you about the whole weekend, what happened Friday night, what happened Saturday night, the demos that we done, some of the interactions that we had.
It was amazing.
It was. Anytime.
It was packed.
Oh, Saturday night was wall to wall, bumper to bumper. You bounced off one person into the next trying to get from point A to point B.
Thankfully, it's a lifestyle club, so nobody had a problem with it.
No, there's never no problem. Somebody touching somebody. It's just, sometimes it's a little uncomfortable, like for me, depending on, because usually there's always two guys that I've got to, which one am I going to rub against the most? But it was, we had a blast. I know the people that we talked to and interacted with, they had a blast. And again, Swinger Society, anytime they come into town and put on any event, they do an amazing job. Decorations were on point. They had everything set up real nice. They had their merchandise table.
The Club Tempted staff is amazing, and they assist in that. They insist with the building and getting everything set up.
Yep. And the reactiveness, the help that we got from Club Tempted and their staff was top notch. I mean,
we love John and Tanya. It's awesome.
Yes. And I'm so happy to call that our home club.
Oh my gosh, you have no idea. I mean, so they have no idea.
Yeah.
You know.
I know. And I know we've said it before, and this is about the Swinger Society takeover, but I've got to say it again. If you have not made it to Louisville, Kentucky and went to Club Tempted yet, put it on your calendars for next year. Make a point to come and visit it.
Reach out to us. We have an Airbnb.
Yep. We can hook you up with an Airbnb. We're like less than 30 minutes to the club, and it is top-notch, premier, pure sexiness.
Yes.
I guarantee it. You're not going to have a bad time by coming there.
Yes, it's just an amazing club. Even through the people that we interact with, we've heard so many good things from even at the event this weekend.
Yep, there was a lot. So let's get into what all we did.
What? We didn't do anything. We just showed up.
Well, it's kind of what it felt like.
No way.
So a little bit of backstory. We done the last Swinger Society takeover that they had, and it was back in spring, early summer. And we done the Friday night events and we done the Saturday night events. We done 2 demos both nights. And while we was there for that demo, we was asked to come back in December for this next takeover they had. So we waited to find out what their themes were so that we could kind of match our demos to their themes.
Same thing we did last time.
Yep.
Matched it to the theme.
And on this one, we decided we was going to take it up a notch and decided to collaborate with our friends from Ex Libris photography studio, Sir Dante and Zorra. So they were going to be with us. But as it turns out, there wasn't a whole lot of collaborating, especially there was none in person because their schedule, they would be free, but we wasn't. And then when our schedule was free, they wasn't. So it was a lot of back and forth through messaging and text.
And pictures.
To plan this whole event. And even after our Friday night event, me and Zorra was sitting and talking, and I agree with her 100% when she said there isn't anything we could have done to make it any better. So the way that all of our minds work and the fact that we didn't actually get together in person to sit down and nail down all these ideas, it turned out wonderful.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, both nights went great. We didn't have any issues. There were no hiccups. There were no road bumps. And it was a great time.
Friday night was...
So Friday was Frozen Fantasies.
And so we decided to do some temperature play.
Yep. We wanted to bring in the cold and warm it up as well.
Oh, gosh. And so we ended up splitting it so that I did the decorations and the ideas for the hot table.
Yes.
And Zorra took over the cold table.
Yes.
And so between the two of us, we accomplished it. What that means is we had implements. We had ways to heat up the implements on the hot table. The cold table, we had ways to cool it down.
Yep.
Ice, of course.
Yep.
And then we did some taste bud temperature play.
Yes, so we had 2 different types of shots. On the hot table, there was Fireball. Over on the cold table was a pucker that was Berry Blizzard. And when you took that shot, you got a cooling sensation kind of in the back of your throat after taking it. So it was a great effect mixed with the Fireball, played with your taste buds a little bit there. And then also we had hot chocolate and ice cream. So we had, and the hot chocolate was hot. I tried drinking a little bit. It was hot. It got hot.
We couldn't put it all out because it would melt. And so we ended up with a lot left over at the end.
Yep. And then you actually had some issues prior to Friday.
Sheen failed me. I had all of the stuff purchased a month ago, ready to come out, and the delivery did not arrive by the Tuesday before. So I bought it all again through, well, not all, I changed it up, but through Amazon in order to have enough implements on the table.
Right.
And then we arrive home after completing the presentation.
Like 2:00 in the morning, Friday night, Saturday morning. Pull in the driveway and look, and there is a delivery sitting right in front of our garage door.
Of all the Sheen stuff.
So it showed up about 12 hours too late.
Yes.
But anyway, we still made it work with everything that we had. So
we had more than enough.
Oh, yeah.
It was good.
So Dante and Zorra, they came there. We all got everything set up Friday night. We was in the 3rd floor lounge. And we had one event at 10:00, and we was able to go down prior to, kind of mingle, check out the club, check out how many people was there. And it didn't look like there was a whole lot of people until 10:00 came around.
Now, before that, the setup, we were lucky to have Krista and Steve there.
Oh, don't
They
forget them. Yes.
moved furniture. They helped fill up these little shot glasses with a tiny little funnel.
Yep. Steve cut my trips up and down the steps where I probably would have had to make 8 to 10 trips from parking lot to
Krista
third
muscled
floor
that
lounge.
furniture around. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I can't do that. She's like, watch.
But Steve helped me go down, pack everything in. He's a pack mule. He was loading his arms up. He was packing more than I was going to pack. But yes, definitely huge shout out, Steve and Krista. Thank you so much for your help.
We love you guys.
And the fact they wasn't even working
right
at the club that night. They just showed up to kind of chill a little bit. Krista had to go to her real world job. And so they was just there, and they came up and was like, what do you need help with? And fell right in, clear up till time for them to leave, for her to get to work. So
It
definitely
was so
huge shout out to
awesome.
them for helping us. But yes, we got everything set up. We was able to mingle a little bit, walk around, talk
Didn't
some.
seem like you said, like there wasn't a lot of people. I mean, it wasn't that there were people.
There were people, but it, for a Friday night, for a big event like this, I'm looking, I'm going, it just don't seem like a whole lot of people. And then 10 o'clock rolled down and shit fire. I don't know where they all came from, but that third floor lounge was packed. Holy hell, there was a lot of people.
Interested. They wanted to see what we were doing.
Oh, yeah. So I did just a little small introduction.
You're so good at talking in public, just flat out, off the top of your head, being able to discuss what we're going to do it's amazing.
Right. Well, I appreciate that. But yes, it was off the top of my head because of all the planning we done. That was one thing we didn't plan is what are we going to say? So luckily we had just recently done a podcast episode on temperature play. So it was still fresh on my mind. But we done this very small introduction, who we were, kind of what we was about, a little bit about Ex Libris and about temperature play. And the main thing we was really wanting to get across is temperature play is a category that falls under the umbrella of BDSM. And it's one of the things that we really try to push. When you say BDSM to somebody, they instantly think pain.
I don't like being hit.
Yeah, I don't want to be hit. I don't like pain. So that's one of our goals that we do for the podcast, for any demos. BDSM does not have to be about pain. And we really, really showed it that night. The interactions with people.
It was
I don't know
fun.
how many times I heard people say, and it was different variances of it, but basically it was, I never thought I would enjoy this much.
Well, I don't understand why I don't have this in my life.
Right.
Like I didn't even consider doing hot and cold play.
Right. So we had 4 seats set up. So after a small introduction, kind of telling what all we have and what all we're going to do, it didn't take long to fill those 4 seats. The first 4 was probably the hardest to fill, and it didn't take very long.
It took minutes.
And then we got started. So me and Dante were doing the hot side of it. And Dante had his massage oil.
He bought a massage warmer, oil warmer.
And it was
love
warmed
that.
up. So it was which is a great sensation in its own, but its intent was kind of to resemble what wax play would feel like.
Right.
The fact we was in third floor lounge, it was carpeted. We did not want wax up there. I mean, there is precautions. We could have laid a tarp, we could have laid plastic, but people would have been tripping over it, and it could have been bad.
Right.
So the massage oil was simulating what wax feels like. However, having warm massage oil dripped on you and having it rubbed in, oh, fuck, it's a great sensation all on its own.
He had people that didn't want to leave his seat. They were quite happy getting those massages.
And he looked like he was enjoying himself too, so it was great. And then Lady Dee and Zorra, they were doing the cold table.
Except that even when you're doing the cold, I went running over to that hot table more times than I can tell you, because I'll start with cold, but then I bring the warm in, and people were shocked at how much they enjoyed the play of the both temperatures.
I was doing the same thing occasionally. I would start off with warm and get them real good smoothed out and get them, brought down, kind of floating in the clouds. And then I would run over and grab a cold, and I would do that as well. And that was something that we learned from Lady Kay, that her interview will be coming out soon. As far as sensation play, it was one thing that we learned is something kind of prickly followed by something smooth. So we picked up that idea, and we both kind of thought along the same lines that night of taking something cold and then coming right behind it with something warm. But it was amazing that people would say, "Oh, I don't like the cold. I don't want the cold." But then they would try it, and they was like, "Oh shit, I do like the cold."
Right.
So by mixing it and doing all that, it was great. And I think our demo basically lasted almost 3 hours.
It was busy. When all 4 seats finally got cleared, we're like, time to pack up.
Yeah,
because
it was a long night.
But it was so much fun because
it went by fast.
I had both men and women, same thing, right?
Yep.
And there was one gentleman there who was very turned on by it, and he was surprised that he's like, "Oh, I think I'm a little bit turned on." He told his partner, "I really like this. Just pay attention."
Right. And it was, again, the remarks coming from them, not knowing how much they would like it. The fact they're finding out this is a category of BDSM really blew a lot of their minds. They was like, we never even thought, there is so many other things with temperature play that you can do with regular household items. You don't have to go out and buy anything special from Shein or from Amazon. Everybody's got metal utensils.
Right. A lot of what we had was metal stuff.
Yep.
And stone stuff.
Yes.
So massage stones are awesome because they retain the heat and the cold a lot longer than some of the other implements.
Yep.
I know you said household items, but we didn't even discuss what we had.
Right. No, we're getting there. But yeah, household items. I mean, anything cold, anything glass can be heated, can be cooled, something to try, something to play with and experiment with to see if you even like that. And then from there, you can build on it. I know we did a whole episode of temperature play, so I'm not going to get into all that. But for us, we did mix in, well, I say we, I had no part in it. You done all the shopping. You did mix in BDSM implements.
Yes.
We had Wartenberg wheels.
Yes.
That worked good with the cold. They didn't really hold heat
real
well.
That came from Zorra.
Yeah, Zorra brought the Wartenberg wheels.
I had the metal floggers, which were awesome.
Like chainmail floggers, and one of them was very decorative and pretty with a bunch of metal pieces attached
and everybody
to the chainmail.
Loved that when it was touching their skin because of the sensation of rubbing that across
There was actually
skin.
a couple that was sitting over on the couch that when you told them where you got it from, went searching and made the purchase while sitting there to buy one because they was so blown away with how great it felt mixed with the cold. Yep, they made the purchase while sitting there, and that was a great purchase for you.
I got some facial massage tools.
Yep.
Those are the ones that vibrated that everybody was like, "What is that?"
Yeah, I was halfway through the demo before I even realized they vibrated, and then I didn't know how to turn the damn thing on. So I had to have a little help there. But it turned out to be an amazing demonstration. I think everybody that came through there really enjoyed themselves. I think we did make a small impact into their creative minds as far as what they can do now to go home and continue experimenting with this as well, which was for us is huge. That's the whole purpose of us doing this.
Right. And then just a quick shout out. If any of you are interested, Dante is a great masseuse.
He was sure giving them out over there. He was having trouble with his heating pads. So on our hot table, we used 4 heating pads, one on the bottom, one on the top. So I had my station, he had his station. And I could not see the controllers for his station, but apparently he was having issues with one of his. He said every time he'd reach under there, it wasn't very warm. It was it was warm to touch, but it wasn't hot like what mine was. So I've noticed he would occasionally grab something off my station. Okay,
Right.
no big deal, But then there towards the end, he's like, my stuff just don't seem real hot. And one of his heating pads had turned off, but he fell back to his massage oil when some of the implements wasn't very warm. He would go to the massage oil and drip it and then just kind of rub it in. But he didn't get any complaints from his station neither. Whether they experienced the hot or the cold, nobody complained. Every time I turned around, they were sitting there with their eyes closed, their mouth halfway open.
Yes.
They definitely enjoyed the massage. So, Dante, we may have found your next calling. Let me know when you're ready to open up that business, and we'll start advertising for you, buddy. But it was a great night. Thank you to anybody that was there. If you were there
and participating,
even if you didn't participate, coming to the demo to at least see what it was.
Tanya said she couldn't get up the stairs at one point. Yeah. It was so crowded. She had come away both sides, and she's like, I just walked away because I knew you guys had it taken care of with that many people standing around.
It was a great time. And again, thank you to everyone who came out Friday, who participated, who listened. I know they went away with a little bit of knowledge.
That's our goal.
That is the whole goal. And then we move into Saturday. Saturday was Glacier Glow for their theme. And in the description of their theme, they wanted to light it up like the Arctic. So it was kind of expected to wear some kind of white or some kind of UV reactive clothing, because they had black lights everywhere. Everything was glowing. So that was the setup and the scene and the theme for Saturday night, Glacier Glow. And the crowd did not fail that task at all. There was so much white.
Milady K had light up on her whole cape.
Yep, she was lit up real nice and bright. She almost looked like a Christmas tree. She was so damn bright. It was crazy. But there was people with neon bow ties, neon hats. People had neon lights in their pants and their gloves.
Their fur outfits.
Yeah, fur coats. There was, man, and she was gorgeous too. She had on a fur miniskirt. With the fur boots and kind of like a real skimpy fur like halter top. And I thought, that is a sexy fucking outfit.
Yes.
She rocked that outfit. I don't know who she was. Didn't get her name. Didn't even talk to her. I think I seen her 3 times last night. And each time I thought, man, she is rocking that outfit. It was hot. So we get to the club Saturday, and we're collaborating Saturday night, not only with Ex Libris, but we're collaborating with DJ Life of Spice for the music. Now, we have emailed and texted back and forth throughout all this, trying to get everything set up, trying to figure out the stage and where we're going to put everything. Our original thought was you all would be chained to crosses.
Right.
So,
and we can make that happen, but then Master Nick went, I think I have an idea.
There's a better idea. So, the DJ's stage, took up some of the dance floor. And then I'm also thinking, it's easy to get things set up, but then once we're done and people are wanting back on the dance floor, trying to get these crosses off the dance floor in a crowded room, I thought, man,
dangerous.
It is dangerous. So there's a safety issue. So I come up with a plan Friday while looking at it. So we went to plan B for Saturday. Now our demonstration Saturday was heavy impact light show. And what that means is it was going to be BDSM impact play, but knowing all the black lights are going to be around there, me and Dante we made some implements, and we've bought implements that glowed under the black light. So they
were beautiful.
You ain't a kidding. We took some of our paddles, we wrapped them in UV reactive tape. He had his little bamboo sticks. Katans.
He wrapped each
one of them in UV reactive tape. They were awesome.
I got to feel those.
Yep. I reached out to Shannon from L&K when we interviewed her and said,
Love
hey,
Leather Lace is the company.
Yeah, Love Leather and Lace is her company. So after having her on the interview, I was like, hey, can you make anything UV reactive? She's like, I think I can make that happen. So she worked on my floggers all the way up. I picked them up
Thursday. But she was done with them Tuesday.
She was done with them Tuesday. It was Thursday before I could get there, and she did not disappoint.
Oh my gosh, they're amazing.
She made them the Dom Life colors, neon green, black, and white, and absolutely
the handles
beautiful.
Were UV reactive.
The handles are UV reactive, and the green leather was UV reactive. She did not disappoint. I am so happy with them. She made me a matching set. So pick them up Thursday. So my plan B for Saturday night, instead of using furniture like a cross or a spanking bench or any of that, the DJ stage was just high enough that I knew you and Zorra could bend over, put your hands on the stage, and take the impact like that. So it would be similar to leaning against a wall or a table or a kitchen counter or anything you could think of.
You know, when you're thinking about it, we were bent over, asses exposed. So that wasn't a bad view.
No, it wasn't. I believe the crowd enjoyed it. But again, a huge shout out for Saturday night to Club Tempted, to their staff, and especially to Loki and Braveheart. So when I arrived Saturday, I got with John and I was like, hey, I need 2 favors. One, I need a place where we can go prior to 10 o'clock, prior to our demo, so that we can give you and Zorra some kind of warm-up session.
Yes, this was a heavy impact.
Yes. So I knew you all needed some kind of warm-up. I didn't want to be an extreme amount of pain during the demo or any of that. And he was like, no problem. I got you covered. What's the second favor? I said, well, here's the thing. So I don't want to drag out a table when they introduce us. I said, can I get 2 staff members to pull out our table and have it ready before the introduction? He was like, done, not a deal. So Loki and Braveheart, they were assigned to help us. And that's what they done. Prior to us getting introduced, they grabbed the table, they cleared the dance floor, they put the table in place, and they stood and made sure people were back to where they wouldn't get hit. Dan and Lacey from the Swing Nation podcast, who host and put on the Swinger Society.
They're wonderful people.
They are great people. Love talking to them all weekend. But they set their schedules, and luckily for us, they did have it on their schedule as far as what was going on, what was going to be happening.
Making it a little easier to clear the space, because that's rough when you have that many people.
Yes, it was. John, manager at club, he done an introduction of us just because he knows us, and an amazing job he done at that.
He makes us feel good inside.
Oh, yeah. And then we had just kind of a brief explanation of what we was going to do that Dan read off and let everybody know what was going. And then DJ Life of Spice fired up the music. He cranked it up. It was popping. The music was amazing. He freestyled it. At one time, he said he was going to pre-record something, but then Saturday he was like, I don't know, man. I think I'm just going to freestyle it. I'm going to watch you all and see what you're doing, and I'm going to find music to go with it. And did not disappoint. He hit it perfect. It was a great music set.
Perfect
that he
tempo.
put up with. It was.
It helps with the swings. So everybody who listens to our podcast knows I always wear earbuds, but I didn't, because it was so loud and thumping and amazing that I wanted to hear that, and I was totally into it.
Yep. So me and Dante, during the introduction, me and Dante come out, we shake hands, we turn, we find you ladies.
You call us over.
Who are standing at the other end dance floor. We call you over by pointing. We need you here. You all come walking up in your beautiful white attire with white fur coats. Come walking down the dance floor. We grab you, look into your eyes, rip the fur coat off of you, throw it on the ground, lead you over to the stage where we bend you over, place you on your hands on the stage. and then we go back to our table. Now our table's been covered with a black tablecloth this
So
whole
all
time.
I can do right now is see nothing. I am looking at the stage.
Yep.
I can't see behind me. I'm bent over enough that's it. For me, that was my experience.
Yep.
Now, what was your experience, Master Nick?
It was great. Me and Dante go over, we ripped the tablecloth off. There's all of our implements on this table.
Do they
are
glow?
glowing. Man, they are glowing. They are shining bright. and then it's showtime. So I, grab my floggers, my brand new floggers, first time of using them, and I start to go to town. I look over. Dante's got his cricket paddle that he's taped up with UV reactive tape, and that son of a bitch is glowing like crazy. It looks like
3 feet long.
Oh, it is huge. And I see him using it over there, and I'm looking around at the crowd. So when I do scenes, I'm always focused on the person that I'm topping.
Right.
But in a situation like this, I have to kind of split my focus. So I'm watching you and your body language, but I'm also watching the crowd, because for us doing a demo, how long can people watch somebody do this?
Right.
So
That's a good thought.
I'm trying to watch the crowd. I don't want them getting bored. I don't want them, to lose interest. So I start off with the floggers. I mix it up. I've got my paracord floggers that I've made that just so happen to be UV reactive that worked out great for this demo. So I grab them, twirling them around, hitting you with it. And then about halfway through, me and Dante decide to switch. But not only do we switch positions, we change y'all's positions as well. So me and Dante switch. I go to Zorra. Dante goes to you, Lady Dee. And we grab you all and we stand you up and we spin you around 90 degrees to where the bar counter is all the way around dance floor. And we have you all hold on to it. So now you all are facing the crowd. And I start in on Zorra with my floggers again, and Dante amps it up even more than what I was giving to you. And we done that for a little while, and then our demo ended. And then it was time for us to go up to the dungeon for anybody that wanted to experience it.
Me and Zorra, at the end of it, we walked up to each other and were totally pumped.
Yes.
The energy, the feeling, we're like, we could have done that forever. How long was that? Because we don't know.
I have no idea.
It just was so... I did hear DJ Life of Spice, right? He mentioned this is the last song.
Right.
Let's do it good. I heard that.
Right.
And I was like, really? How long have we been here? Because it felt like minutes.
Right. DJ Life of Spice. I don't know if you listen to this podcast. I'm going to send you a message. The music was perfect.
Yes.
We discussed that Saturday prior to it. And he was like, well, what kind of songs do you want? What kind of tempo? And I told him, we are so versatile. I told him, I said, you could play George Jones and I could do impact to that. I can match any beat, any tempo, any rhythm with impact. But the music he brought, the music he made right there on the spot, true DJ, phenomenal job.
Right.
And then, so we packed everything up. We shot upstairs to the dungeon where we had a lot of people to come in and want to experience it and want to feel it. Some have, of course, let me back up a little bit. So it wasn't just impact for me. I mean, I had my Dom box. So I had impact, I had sensation, I had the electric wand, I had everything. So I was more than willing to let anybody feel anything that I had. And I did. Everybody that came to me, they got to experience all of it. But some of them had felt the electric wand before and hadn't felt impact. So it was good to take those people that are curious about what it feels like and to bring them into a safe space, into a safe room where everything is communicated to them before anything happens. Dante nor I handcuffed or restrained anybody for that peace of mind for them, and we told them it is loud. The music's still pumping. There's a lot of people in here. We do use safe words. We use green, yellow, red. We did explain that, but I also told them, if you don't want to say anything, you're not restrained. Hold your hands up, turn around. We will immediately stop.
Plus, you check in. I've watched you do it. You check in after every implement strike. So you're hitting with one implement for a while where you're doing it gently, and then you lean in and say, I'm going to try another implement.
Right.
Was that okay? Did you enjoy that? Because now we can try this. Do you want me to amp it up a little bit? Where are you at?
Right. The fact that they know at any time they can leave.
Yes.
Eases their mind. And by checking in, and I did, just like you said, every implement, this is what we're going to do. So I'd start off with a flogger. Here, feel this flogger. This is what we're going to start off with. I'm going to start real soft, real low, and I'll gradually work my way up. And I'd go to a point and I would stop. Like, how are you doing? Do you want more? Let's try different. This is what this flogger feels like. Let's try it. And then there was one woman that was like, she said, I'm really enjoying it. Can you go harder? And I'm like, I can go harder. I still didn't go as hard as I would on somebody. And that's what I told her. I'm not going to go as hard as I would. But this is my first time playing with you. And the last thing that I want is for anybody to walk away from one of these experiences hurt or traumatized,
right?
Any of that.
Exactly.
So although they were saying, I want you to go harder, I did go harder than what I was doing, but I wasn't even halfway to where I could have been, because I don't want nobody walking away with a bad experience from it. Yes. But we had several to come through. Several people wanted to try it. A lot of people asked, where do you buy this stuff at? You can buy floggers and impact toys on Shein. You can buy them on Amazon. The only thing I got to say is be careful. Research it as much as you can.
A lot of the ones that are on Shein and Amazon are a little bit more bitey because they're not made with the
it's not
soft
real leather, right?
Leather.
It's more of a plastic leather that they use. You can go to Etsy. A lot of the floggers you find on Etsy are handmade by somebody, and they will usually list out what leather they use and all that stuff. So that's what you really want to research. Just be careful. If you find a flogger that's $10 or $15, it kind of goes along with you get what you pay for.
Yes.
And like you said, a lot of those are a lot more bitier. They sting. They're more of a plastic. We're lucky we have found a lot of people that hand make them here locally. So that's kind of where I get all my floggers made at, or not made at. I get them to make them for me. We do have Critical Leather. We have Bear's Den Gifts. I know they're on Etsy. We have Shannon Love Leather and Lace. And there's numerous more that I could name. And if you're interested or curious, feel free to reach out. Let me know kind of what you're looking for. They each have their own different style on floggers and how they make them. They all pretty much do custom. They can do any color you want. And I'll be more than happy to answer any questions anybody has with them. But that would be a great place to start, to look in and see about getting your own, especially for the ones that really enjoyed it.
I feel bad because after doing the demonstration, the show, the performance, we went upstairs. I was there probably about 45 minutes, and the heat coming down from being so amped up for this.
Right.
I was nervous before. I tanked.
You tanked hard.
And my throat was done. It was done talking. I had zero voice. So people would want to talk to me. And I felt so rude. I finally just went outside and just went to the car and just sat there quietly because I could not make my throat talk anymore. And it was, sadly, because I enjoy it so much, I just couldn't be
Right.
a part any longer. I had to leave.
Right. Yeah. And like I said, you tanked hard. And it was a lot more than just a normal scene. A normal scene, you tank, but with this, you was nervous. You was
Right.
nervous prior to the demo. We had our little warm-up session prior to, and the adrenaline rush of, oh my God, we're going to be the main focus. I mean, we're always the main focus in the dungeon, but there was a whole lot more people on the dance floor than there ever has been up in the dungeon.
Right.
And again, you didn't
I
have your
agree.
earbuds, so you was kind of out of your norm of
Yeah.
things for impact. And it was, I was nervous for 3 minutes, I think.
Oh, once I was there, I was totally into it.
Right.
My body went right into where it belongs. My headspace was right where it belongs.
Right.
But there was a lot of prep before this. Like I said, Sheen didn't arrive. So Tuesday, there I am ordering everything and, to make sure I get 2-day delivery. So it's here by Thursday for the presentation Friday. There was the setup, the breakdown,
Yep.
so that was like the culmination of
Yep.
all this stuff. And I had sub drop huge.
Yep.
Thankfully, today is another day and my voice is back and I'm feeling better.
Yep. But all in all, great event. I feel that the demos went exceptionally well. Probably couldn't have asked for anything to happen any different to make it any better. And I know we said it throughout this podcast, but as we end this episode, huge shout out again. Let's give thank yous to Swing Nation Podcast, Swinger Society, Dan and Lacey. They always put on a great show. They have their help. I know Mandy is the event coordinator. She's the one that I communicate with. She's very easy to communicate with, always asking if there's anything we need. So thank you to those. Club Tempted, John and Tanya, all the staff. We try to say it as much as possible, but I don't think we can say it enough. Thank you, everyone. Club Tempted.
You guys are
managers,
amazing.
members, staff, always accommodating, always there. I don't know how many times a staff member came to us Friday or Saturday. Do you all need anything?
It's just
And
feel like I'm at home there.
Yes.
I'm not uncomfortable. There's nothing to worry about. Everybody is your friend. It's even if you don't know them, just
Right.
so you know, we don't know all the staff. We know the majority of them, but every so often they hire somebody new.
There's some new ones.
And they're just, everybody's amazing.
It's every one of them. DJ Life of Spice, man, I hope there's another time we get to work together.
Absolutely.
Your music is off the charts.
I love the way you blend it.
Yes.
That's the big thing. There's a lot of DJs that are good with music, but when you actually have to take and blend in two different beats, you hit that every time.
Yep. We've got club members, DJs, S. Dot and DJ Jorge, who was there Friday night and Saturday night. Awesome job. Great build up to it. They always bring the music as well.
Yes.
And I guess our last thank you, Sir Dante and Zorra, Ex Libris. It was great collaborating. It was great putting on these demos with you all.
It was great knowing that even though we couldn't get together face to face, you'd bring what we needed and we'd bring what you needed and we could make it happen.
Blended together so well. And to everybody that came out Friday night, Saturday night, for the ones that participated, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Coming up on our next episode, another interview.
Milady K.
And we get to talk to her. She is a switch. So sometimes she's the dominant. Sometimes she's the submissive.
Didn't we get to do a dungeon play too?
We did. And she is phenomenal when it comes to sensation, sensory deprivation. We learned a lot off of her. We can't wait to share these episodes with you all. Hope you learn from it as well. See you next week.
Please follow, like, and share our podcast.
Make sure to visit thedomlife.com, where you can find pictures and other details about the Dom Life podcast. And through the Contact Us button, you can ask questions or provide recommendations for future episodes.
We want to explore your kink too.
Be sure to check out upcoming events to see where our adventures are taking us and our photo gallery to where we've been.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you had fun listening and learning with us.
Till next time, keep calm and remember your safe word.
Red, red, red.